it is absolute today that we explore together, since we already start in the practical approach. Our Seleaninews.com is exploring all the different aspects of cosmology and technology. Today is a day that we have chosen to talk about the travel of space-time, how human can make really a travel, how we can from the present go to the past, how we can from the present go to the future. As you know, all we are talking about today, those are different kind of speculation that people are inspiring by the fictional science or movies, that in a lapse of blink of time you move from a spaceship moment directly to another space-time moment. So those are different kind of speculations that the people are talking about. So we come up with a practical model that gonna show you in a very simple way we have chosen, in order you to have an idea about what the people are talking about. It's not really 100% impossible that human being can travel through time. You know that people can move from one place to another. I can move from a country to another. And the way things happen here and the way things happen on other places at the same time are called simultaneity. So the concept of travel to time is a concept that, starting from the concept of the special relativity of Albert Einstein and the general relativity of Albert Einstein, that draw those principles to be possible. Since we know the physics, starting from Galileo to Newton, and now we are talking about merging the concept of the quantum physics and general relativity with those aspects of understanding the way Stephen Hawking is talking about space-time travel. The time travel itself it's a very old issue. I mean, the people were talking about those issues for a whole century. Let us make a very simple way of understanding. When you do this remote control, I can see the remote control in a 3D dimension on the space. So when we move this remote control from one place to another, not only the remote control is moving from one place to another, from one position A to one position B, but it is also making some kind of vibration on the time. So means the time is moving based on the location that the remote control is moving. And that is exactly how the time modification or the time change, it's also impacting on the space itself of the 3 dimensions. So we are not talking only on 3 dimensions are we see things, an object, but we are talking about interaction as well of the time. So let's be in a very simple way looking at objects moving far away from us. When we look at in a very far away from the position we are, we see things happen in a very short from point A and B. Let me be very simple. I say I have a point A and point B. when I move this remote control far away, I will look at it and I will see that the moving from A to B become very short for me because I'm looking at from far. But here, when I move from here, I will count many seconds. Instead, when I move this the same remote control, it's going from A to B. It's going to be like a blink of eye because the remote control for me become a point. It's not become an object for me like when it's near for me. So those aspects are called relativity. It means time and space and time are not absolute. They are based on where they are located and where the people are observing it. So let's say we are going to understand why time travel become a discussion for everyone to talk about. Essentially, time travel is possible, but only for the future. But for today, we are talking about how it's possible to make the time travel in the past and why it's not possible. It's possible because we are talking about the some concept of physics that we say now we can move from the space. Now we are saying that the time also is not absolute, but it's also it can also change. So why the time travel to the past is not possible? I'm gonna go in a very short way of a movie called The Travel to the Past, which a movie which we saw it when we were in high school, talking about the time. So when we are going to look at it, we look at object in a very simple way. Let's say this sound system, I have a microphone here and I'm talking on the microphone. This is the microphone, and when I transmit a voice from the same microphone, and you can look at it now, and the object of this person, the person already is now looking ahead of what is happening to the sound system. So the microphone transmits the information which I'm talking now and going out for the speakers and become very loudy. Okay, so if now the sound which is coming out, which is the one way, and it doesn't really stop there, but it's keep coming back as a loop. For example, now the sound is going high and we hear the voice, but the microphone it has a very low resistance. So if the sound which is already amplified and it's going out to the speakers and it doesn't cut there, but it's coming back, it will damage the microphone. Because of what? Because the sound itself, which is coming from the amplifier to the speakers, is very loud. So let's say now it's very common because we can apply converters and we can make some kind of education and modulate the sound and make it in a very low frequency, and it's going to come in the microphone. Let's say exactly the same concept of the person who try to make some kind of scenario of going to do things, for example going to kill somebody. I'm going to take the joke have been done by Stephen Hawking when he say, I will make an invitation of a space of the time travel party, and then I will give the people the invitation card in the future. I mean, I will give them the time in which the party is already over. He say, I make the party in 4 o'clock, and we are in the morning, and the party will be 4 o'clock. We are 12 o'clock, and the party will be 4 o'clock. I will give the people the invitation card at 5 o'clock. So when we try to see, we see that we are now at 12 o'clock, and we are making a party 4 o'clock, and we give the people the invitation on 5 o'clock. So when you look at it, we see different kind of time frames. So let's say we give the people the invitation card on 5 o'clock, and now they are trying to come and make a time travel to the past to come back and just to see and to be present on the party at 4 o'clock. What's going to happen? What's going to happen is that the people will come and will find directly that there is no party because they are not invited. So how party will be if there is no invitation? So this concept is called a feedback. Feedback means the transmitter will send the message and the receiver will receive the message and acknowledge back. So the feedback concept is to make the receiver as a transmitter, as a sender, and the transmitter to be as a receiver. And this is the very, very headache of the world of physics. Because if I take a very simple example, I say I am someone who's gonna shoot. I am making the weapon ready, and myself, I travel directly to the past when I am assembling the weapon. And during assembling process, I kill myself. There's going to be a question: who killed who? And that is a notion called a paradox. Exactly, that is the reason time travel is not possible for the past, because things cannot happen with effect if there is no cause. So the causality has to be there, then the effect to happen. If there is no causal effect, there will not be effect. So the concept of cause and effect are there to say it's not possible that time travel to be for the past. So now in the next video we're going to talk about the principles that make the time travel to the future possible, like the wormholes, which are the channel which you can bounce from one position to another in a space-time frame, where you can travel to the future. So we're going to see together the principle of the special relativity, why those principles are really possible, and why the quantum, which is the very low range of matter and object, can be combined with the general relativity to explain the people how things now are possible to be as we see, and also to be possible to be tomorrow as we really think and we plan them to be. And exactly that's going to be the next video, and really thank you very much for being with us today.